region because they own the tiebreaker with Monroe, who already lost to Thomasville.
And Carver already beat Thomasville, so they would have pretty much beaten everyone. Well, they have beaten everyone in their region. Their only losses are 7A Public School, Brookwood, and Atlanta. They lost on a last-second play, had a chance to win that one. Hateville Charter, the 4A school, they lost to them again. Last-second drive, had a chance to win that game, and barely lost to Northeast Macon, who has a chance to win region. I don't think it's Region 5, Region 4, and 2A where Spencer is in. So those are the 3 straight losses. They've won 3 straight since then. They're 5-3. Carver in the sky blue with the maroon helmets, taking on the Golden Tornadoes with the black trousers, white jerseys, green numbers, and black helmets. Monroe, Richard, as you talked about on the Sports Visions radio show when you came on today, they haven't had a great season in a long time. This is by far their best season. Carver is a standard to win the region, win a state championship, be one of the top teams in the state. A little bit of a down year this year, but they still have everything in front of them.
They average double-digit wins just about every season, and they're 2 years removed from that state championship appearance against Benedictine.
And Carver gets the return, and not a bunch of that. And now, here comes starting quarterback Matthew Mungan. Richard, on the season, he has 4 touchdowns. He's thrown for 486 yards. They also got Jacoby Hunter, who has 6 touchdowns, 690 yards. And coming out to start at the quarterback position today is, number 6, Jacoby Hunter, not Matthew Mungan.
They like to do Coach Coffey likes to do the 2-quarterback system, but we're going to have the senior out there, number 6, Jacoby Hunter.
Carver getting the ball, starting at their own 23-yard line. They're going to hand it off to the running back, one of the best running backs in the city, if you hadn't heard of his name. And there's a ball on the ground, though. And as I'm talking about him, Deontay Childs, who already has 1,000 yards rushing on the season and 9 touchdowns, fumbles on the first play of the game. And Monroe's going to get it deep in Carver territory.
A huge turnover. Michael Williams for Monroe gets the fumble recovery. Great turnover for Monroe, and they have it in great field position. That's the way you want to start.
So now Monroe's going to be starting, like you said, in great field position. Again, Monroe has been usually a dormant program over the last 5-6 years. This year having one of their best seasons in the last 20. And now here comes quarterback, Mr. Corey Randall. He hands it off, and there's going to be 5 or 6 yards on the first carry of the game for Monroe.
Some of the players to watch on that Carver defense, Courtney Kelly with 10 sacks. And then you also got Jeremiah Branscombe, the talented corner free safety. He's going to patrol that secondary. This Carver defense, they have played big all season, and they got to get a big defensive stop here.
They're going to hand it off and nothing going. The big defensive lineman for Carver with a 3-yard loss on the run was number 10, Jacoby McDonald on the carry. He gets nothing. And now Monroe's got it 3rd down and about 8 here as they're trying to capitalize on Carver fumbling on their first possession of the game, their first play. On the offensive side of the ball, Deontay Childs fumbled, and Monroe trying to capitalize on it. He takes a snap. He finds an open receiver over the outstretched arms. He makes one man miss, and he is going to fight for a Golden Tornadoes first down. Great job by Corey Randall getting the ball over the Carver defender. Great ball placement, and that's a first down for Monroe.
He evaded the pressure, was able to get out to the receiver in the flat, and his receiver made that second move to able to get the first down. And a good 3rd down pickup by the Golden Tornadoes.
So now they're driving, and they're at the 15-yard line. Randall is going to throw a fade route deep in the corner, and him and the receiver were not on the same page. And there's going to be an incompletion. Great coverage, though, by that Carver secondary.
Absolutely. Jeremiah Branscombe, and you also have over there on that coverage, you got Jeremiah Williams as well. That Carver defense, I mean, they play very well in the secondary, which are coached by defensive backs coach Damian the Nighthawk Daniels, who's also the head football coach for the Columbus Lions.
And he's got a lot of time. Now he steps up in the pocket, takes off, looking, decides to throw it up, and just says, you know what, no one's open. I'm going to throw it out of bounds, and that's going to set up third down. Good job by Carver getting pressure on him. Great job by the secondary. No one was open, and now we got a third down and long.
I thought that Randall did a good job rolling out of the pocket, evading the pressure. He had no choice but to throw it away. And this is where Carver's defense can step up. Monroe is 1 for 1 on third down conversions. But Carver, they got him right where they want him, a 3rd and 10. And let's see what the Monroe offense is trying to do here. They are 5 and 2, like we mentioned, Thrift, 2 and 1 in the region. Monroe out of Albany, one of 3 public schools out of Albany.
So there is a personal foul on Monroe.
Going to drive them back.
And they're going to actually replay second down, but it's second down and 25 now at their own 29-yard line. They got to get to the 4 to be able to get a first down.
That was the right decision not to decline the penalty.
Randall steps up. He's getting under pressure, and he's taken down. What a sack, and good job pressuring the football. Number 18 for the Carver Tigers. Tristan Givens on the sack. Givens is also one of the wide receivers, came around right in and able to sack Corey Randall.
Carver does have pride on that defensive line. I mean, they've got a ton of sacks this year. Carver, one of those teams that plays great defense, and that puts them in a 3rd and long situation.
3rd down and 27.
3rd and long, looking, throws over the middle. It is caught, but way short of the first down. And that is going to mean, is this going to be a kicking situation? But there is a flag. We'll see what the flag's on. But if you're Monroe, do you have a capable kicker kicking a 40-yard field goal, or are you going to go for it? Monroe's clapping, and it looks like it's going to be on Carver. We'll see what the flag is.
And remember, if it is pass interference, it is not going to be an automatic first down.
It is pass interference. It is roughing the passer on Carver. They hit the quarterback too late, and that is a debilitating flag.
It truly is.
On the Carver Tigers, who had him 3rd and long, pretty much out of field goal range. And that personal foul is going to be an automatic first down, and now Monroe is set up 1st and goal at the Carver 10-yard line.
Just a demoralizing penalty for the Carver Tigers.
And that's going to be a QB sneak and nothing going. They eat him up.
There's not a lot of space down there. If the Carver line should just get at the line of scrimmage.
Ja'Cory West was in there on the sack. Nice job by him, along with the other defensive front. Those big defensive linemen, they're getting after it. Great job by them.
Loss of 2 on the play.
He's going to throw a fade route, and over the outstretched arms of his receiver, it would have been a tough catch even if it was within reach, and that is going to be 3rd down and at the 12-yard line, 3rd and goal.
The issue with those fade routes, there's not a lot of room in the corner of the end zone. Great coverage by the Carver defensive back, and now it sets up for a 3rd and 12. And I'm wondering if this is going to be 4-down territory for Monroe. Carver's defense has played well at the line of scrimmage. Yes, they did have the costly penalty, but Monroe here, they've got to come up with some points after forcing the early turnover.
So timeout. We're going to take 1-2. Early football here for Carver and Monroe for a region championship. Region 1 of 3A will be back right after this. Third down now, big third down for this Carver defense. They turn the ball over on their first play of the game offensively. Deontay Childs fumbled. Monroe then proceeded to get a first down. Then a personal foul set them back 30 yards. But because of roughing the passer on Carver, they got an automatic first down, got into the goal line, and they've gone backwards ever since. And it's third down from the 12-yard line. Big defensive stand right here for Carver if they can get a stop.
Absolutely. If they could try to put pressure on that Monroe offensive line and make Corey Randall hurry the ball.
And he's getting sacked, and there's a fumble on the play, and there's going to be a recovery for the Carver Tigers. And there's that man again, his second Tristan Givens sack of the game. Fumble recovery picked up from Carver, and there's the big play defensively they were looking for. That defensive line is dominating so far.
Well, Randall bobbled the snap. Givens was in the backfield, blew up that play. Randall was trying to make a play with it because Monroe can still try to get a field goal out of this possession, but Tristan Givens with the huge turnover, and Carver catches a break after their first turnover, and now they get the ball back, and let's see what the Carver offense can do on their second possession. Like you mentioned, Thrift, Carver's 3-0 in the region. Monroe is 2-1 in the region with the win tonight. Carver will wrap up the region.
Oh, and they're going to say he was down, so it wasn't
down.
a fumble. But the ball hits the goalpost and goes in. So it was not a fumble on that. They're going to say he was down. Monroe then proceeds to kick a field goal in which it hits the upright and bounces in. And with 7:52 remaining, Monroe does score on their opening possession from that Carver turnover. They lead 3-0.
I tell you what, Thrift, that was a huge 3 points by Monroe. You have all the momentum, you get the turnover. The Carver defense is not going to give up a lot. We're not going to see a lot of big plays given up by this Carver defense. So Monroe to come out of that possession with 3 points, that was huge.
Now Monroe's going to set the kickoff again. See if Carver now can bounce back after that first turnover. And that's going to be returnable. And he's got a nice open lane. And there he goes all the way down to the 46. What a return for the Carver Tigers. Great job by number 1, the highlight factory himself, Jacoby Caslin, a.k.a. Kobe Caslin, who was a phenomenal basketball player last year as a freshman. And now this season as a sophomore, he's coming to his own, and great job returning that. And now here comes Jacoby Hunter in offense as they try to capitalize on great field position. They're at their own 48-yard line.
First and 10 on the 48 for the Tigers.
They're going to hand it off to Childs again. Childs bounces off a couple tackles, gets 3 or 4 yards, and is holding onto that football for dear life. He does not want to make that same mistake again.
Well, I noticed they do have 2 wide receivers to the far side. They have the double tight end set. They get some extra blockers in there for Childs, trying to build those holes. And really, Carver prides themselves on offensive line play. You look at Elijah Pritchett that's playing at Alabama. Keldon Smith, a big-time offensive lineman. Over the years, you've had Chris Hubbard as well.
Second down, they look over. They're getting their sign. They're getting their play in from Coach Pierre Coffey, who's in his second season. Last year went to the quarterfinals. Previously was at Chattahoochee County. Also at Spencer. He's won everywhere he's been. He hands it off to Kobe Caslin. Caslin gets a couple yards before he's thrown down to the ground, but it sets up 3rd and 5 now for the Tigers offense.
Kobe Caslin is second on the team in rushing with 656 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. So Carver likes to have the 2 running backs set. Deontay Childs is the leading rusher with over 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. But now Carver, It's a big third down for the Monroe defense.
And they're going to hand it off again, this time to Childs. Childs busts into the secondary and gets 15 yards on that one. Great job by that offensive line, creating a huge hole for Deontay Childs. And now here comes the up-tempo offense for the Tigers.
That hole opened up as soon as Childs got the ball.
He's going to throw a screen pass, and he makes one man miss, but shoestring tackle as he throws it out to wide receiver number 12, Dalen West.
Was a great stop by number 3, Justin Lane, as he had to hold on for dear life for his shoes. Otherwise, that could have been a big play by West. I like this up-tempo offense that Carver's going to.
They're going to hand it off to Childs again, and Childs bounces to the outside. He's got a lot of room. He's going to just bulldoze his way, and still running all the way down to the 24-yard line. Another Tigers first down.
Thrift, Deontay Childs is a playmaker for this Carver Tiger offense. It seems like, although we do have a flag on the play.
There is a flag, and it looks like this one is going to come back. I think they're going to be calling a hold on this. A little bit of a late flag.
I do want to say, Thrift, it seems like the running backs at Carver, they don't skip a beat. Last year they had Jamari Riley. The year before they had Flip Creedle. We know about Isaiah Crowell playing at Carver back in 2008, 2009, 2010. One of the top recruits in the country back in 2010. Had a great NFL career, played for the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets.
So now it's going to be second down and 20 for those Carver Tigers. Childs in the backfield with Jacoby Hunter. He's going to hand it off, and there goes Childs, and Childs is going to break free. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Carver. And I just talked about it, the offensive line with a huge hole, and you can't give that running back space. Nice job by the Carver offense responding with a touchdown.
And just a big shout out to the offensive line for Carver to really spread the hole, and Childs went down the middle, his 10th rushing touchdown of the season, and just feed him the rock. And you got to give credit to this offensive line for the Carver Tigers. Carver takes the 6-3 lead pending the extra point. This is senior night, as we mentioned. Carver 5-3 on the season. Monroe 5-2. Carver riding a 3-game win streak. Got a big win last week on the road against Crisp County, 24-7. And the week before they beat Thomasville 28-14. That was a huge win. Like you mentioned, Thrift, as a number 2 seed, Carver went to the quarterfinals last year, but lost to Oconee County right here at Otis Spencer Stadium. Well, I think that would be huge, Thrift. If they could win the region, they would get a number 1 seed, which would guarantee them 2 home playoff games.
So for those that are joining us, Carver got the ball to start the game and then had a turnover on the first run of the game for Deontay Childs. Monroe gets it, and they get all the way to the Carver 12-yard line, where they end up kicking a field goal to take a 3-0 lead. Carver has now responded with a 40-yard touchdown, 24-yard touchdown of their own. There is a flag, but it is on Monroe, so it is going to stand, and a great job by that offensive line, just creating a huge hole.
I wonder, because the flag's on Monroe, if Carver's going to take the penalty, and it'll be half the distance to the goal, and they can go for 2 here. But it looks like they'll probably attempt the extra point. But who knows? We shall see what Coach Pierre Coffey has got up his sleeve. It looks like they are going to go for 2, Thrift.
And this one thing that Carver has not had in a long time, which is a kicker, direct snap. And he's going to push his way, and they're going to say he's just short. So with 5:07 remaining, Carver responds with a touchdown now, and they lead 6-3 here. Monroe and Carver playing for the region championship. Yes, they both have a few more region games to play, but the winner is going to have the one leg up. Remember, Carver is in the lead. They have no region losses. Monroe has lost to Thomasville. Carver beat Thomasville.
Right.
So if Carver beats Monroe, they pretty much solidified. If Monroe wins, we could have a three-way tie. Who knows how the rest of the region's going to play out. But Carver trying to win tonight and win the region. Remember last year they lost to Thomasville, so this will be the first time they've won it in 2 years.
Yeah, if we're rooting for chaos, you got Thomasville with a 2-1 record, Monroe with a 2-1 record, Carver 3-0. Crisp County 1-2, Doherty is 1-2. That's the team that Carver's playing next week. And Columbus, they're 0-3, but if they win out, they could sneak into the playoffs.
Remember, in this region, there are 6 teams. 4 of them make it. And right now, Columbus.
And they still have to play Crisp County and Monroe. So anything's possible. Columbus will play right here tomorrow against Crisp County. Big region game for them as well.
We're live at Otis Spencer Stadium. Thrift and Richard Hodges, Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. High school football showcase we've been doing all season. That's a little bit of a pooch punt. And Monroe is going to return that beautifully, led by number 8. And I don't even think they got a number 8, so we're gonna give it to number 9. Say DeAndre Brown, looking at Max Prep's rosters, which is never trustworthy. But Monroe's going to have great field position now, Richard. Remember, Carver turned the ball over, and Monroe was able to at least get a field goal. We thought they turned it over and got sacked, but they said when the quarterback was down before he lost the football, so Carver did not recover it. I mean, did recover it, but it was negated because they called him down. Monroe then kicked the field goal to take a 3-0 lead, and then Carver came storming back with the last touchdown. There's going to be a QB keep for Corey Randall, and he runs right into the big linebackers, including number 26 for the Carver Tigers, Colin Hodge, the outside linebacker, just laid the boom, and he got about a yard on that one.
So as we were doing our pregame notes, Thrift, this is the second team from Albany that we've called on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. You want to know who the most famous alumni to come out of Monroe is?
Who's that?
The next one.
And he's going to roll out, and there's a man open,
That was a
toe
nice
tip
pass.
catch, and they're going to say he completed it. That's going to be a Monroe first down. What a catch right there for number 15, Keontae Hayes. Hayes made it. That looked almost like the Julio Jones catch in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Going up high to getting it, having your toes on the ground to stay in bounds. And Monroe, Randall, who's got a really good arm, is now going to do a QB keep, and that looked like it could have been close to a face mask. They're going to say he grabbed jersey. Oh, nope, there is a flag.
There is a flag. So the football player that is probably the most notable that's played for Monroe was Super Bowl MVP Deion Branch. Played for the Monroe Golden Hurricanes from 1995 to 1997.
On the defense, number 7. 15-yard penalty from the
Oh, that's another costly penalty by Carver.
That is going to be a face mask, and it's going to be on the Carver Tigers.
Carver has had about 3 penalties that have really been devastating in this game. That's something that they got to watch out for. Their defense has been playing good. They've been controlling the line of scrimmage. They've been getting tackles for losses in the backfield. Their DBs have been playing solid, but it's the penalties that's been killing this Carver defense.
Randall is going to throw it over the head of his intended target, Talon Jones, and that's going to set up second down. But Randall, who's been very efficient throughout this game already, has done a good job getting the ball out quickly to his playmakers. They haven't been able to score a touchdown, but they have been able to get first downs, and they're already in deep in Carver territory.
Well, Randall is a dual threat quarterback. He's got over 1,100 yards passing this season, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he is the leading rusher for Monroe with 655 rushing yards.
Randall's got plenty of time. He's going to go deep, and he's going to throw it over the head, but they may get a holding call on the Carver cornerback.
Yeah, Zion Mabry might got a hold of the jersey, probably within 5 yards. I don't think it was pass interference. I think that it happened before the ball was in the air, so let's see what the call is.
On the play.
not sure if they move the ball or if they have a second down. It is on the 24-yard line. But Thrift, we do have some other games tonight. And we got a huge slate of games, including Hardaway and Shaw up the road at Connect.
We'll update those in just a moment. We'll take a quick break. Georgia Alabama Sports Live High School Football Coach Showcase. Carver Monroe for a region championship at 3A. And that throw is going to be caught.
Wow.
One-handed catch for a touchdown. Antonio Hill, one-handed grab. Corey Randall, what a pass, what a catch. And that's going to be a touchdown for Monroe.
Wow. I thought that was good coverage by Zion Mabry. You also had the safety coming over over the top, but that was just put right in the breadbasket as Randall gets his 6th touchdown pass and Monroe retakes the lead.
We know everyone that's tuning in, we're trying to get our internet fixed, and that field goal is going to be good. And Monroe responds with a touchdown of their own. They now take the lead 10-6. It's Georgia Alabama Sports Live High School Football Showcase. We'll be back after this.
Antonio Sports Live. Please like our Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have a doubleheader tomorrow night, as we will talk about that. They want to go hurry up. There's a wide receiver screen, and he's got an open space, and he gets taken down. Number 13, KJ Miles with the reception and a first down for Carver. Carver's going to want to try to go hurry up with 2:35 left to go here in the first quarter. Ball on the 43. It actually is going to be a second down and 3. Let's see what the penalty is. It's going to be a false start on the Carver Tigers. It's going to back them up 5 yards. So we talked about Shaw and Hardaway playing at Connect Stadium tonight. You have Fayette County taking on Troup County at Callaway. Troup County's leading 29-0. Hunter Going to take it himself, and he gets